Most definitely. One thing we're also keeping a close eye on, we've waited for an update some 12 minutes before 10 o'clock. Peyton's got it right now. Let's get over to him. Oh, and by the way, that CLECO number, it's 35, that outage there on the north, in west of Morgan City. Excuse us. Let's get over to Peyton.
Thank you all so much. Yeah, 10 a.m. advisory just dropped from the National Hurricane Center. The good news is no significant changes. We are still expecting this to remain a hurricane as it moves inland here, but it looks like the intensity has leveled off. Now, it's also sped up, northeast moving at 13 miles an hour. Here is the official new track. You can see no big changes here, and we didn't expect any big changes. So landfall will be probably about 6 o'clock this afternoon and evening right here in the St. Mary and Terrebonne Parish area. There's been no really big change here. This thing is going to start to wobble on into the area here, and so I want to remind you that if you live in Terrebonne Parish, you do need to be preparing for basically the landfall to happen in your backyard. You will be on the east side, and we will have very strong winds moving into Terrebonne Parish later on into the afternoon and evening. So we are starting to see those stronger winds right on the coast. These will continue to move to move inland as we go through the rest of the morning, and the worst of the winds down there will be as we get towards the 3, 4, 5, and 6 o'clock hour as the core of this hurricane moves inland. Now here in New Orleans, we are going to be on the east side of this system. It will likely pass just to the west of the city, giving us the core of the hurricane more than likely, at least for parts of the area, and then it lifts to the north, and it will weaken fairly quickly by tomorrow, and we're talking Thursday morning. It's going to be just south of Jackson around Brookhaven, moving to the north. So here we go. A lot of the bands are starting to move through the region. We do expect the conditions to continue to deteriorate. If you really need to be where you need to be situated by around lunchtime, because this is going to continue to move in to the area through the rest of today. So there is no big change with the 10 a.m. update here. And luckily, it looks like the intensity has leveled off with Hurricane Francine. It's probably not going to make a run at a Category 2 here, but it's still a decent Category 1 hurricane with 90-mile-an-hour winds, gusts potentially over 100 miles an hour. If we see any wind gusts near 100 miles an hour, and it's a possibility, I don't want to downplay that, it would likely be in Terrebonne Parish. Is what we're going to be watching. We do have some cameras down here we're watching in Terrebonne Parish, specifically in Chauvin. And this is going to be a very, very interesting camera to watch. Let me update you. That's not in Leeville. This is in Chauvin, and this is overlooking parts of those areas. And this is a camera we're going to be watching. We have a camera in Grand Isle. We have a camera in Leeville. All of these areas are expecting significant storm surge. This specific area, we are forecasting around 5 to 10 feet of water rise. Now, we all know these camps are all built up. But for example, these types of areas, anywhere that's not protected by anything, water will rise along the Terrebonne Parish coastline and even into our bays. So our storm surge warning will continue for those areas. And there really have not been any significant changes to the forecast with this 10 a.m. update. That's my main message here. This will make landfall likely as a Category 1 storm around 5 to 7 o'clock this afternoon and evening, right here in lower St. Mary Parish and into Terrebonne Parish as well. And you can see that 5 to 10 feet there. 4 to 7 feet is still forecasted to happen there in Barataria Bay and around Grand Isle. And we've got 4 to 6 feet of storm surge into Lake Pontchartrain. And if this storm comes in on this track, you're going to have a southerly wind pushing the water up into St. Tammany and into Tangi. You've also got a lot of rain falling here, so rivers are going to start to back up here on the North Shore. And so that is a concern with flooding. Even if you live far away from the lakefront, the rivers certainly could become an issue as we go into late tonight and into Thursday. Rainfall totals with this track, it does look like we're going to see a corridor of 8 to 12 inches. We still don't think that's going to happen for everyone. I think most people it's more like 3 to 6 inches, but models and our guidance still say there's going to be this corridor in here of 8 to 12 inches of rainfall, and that's probably going to be more so in the river parishes, down into parts of the bayou parishes, and even on part of the North Shore. You have a decent chance of seeing those very, very heavy rain and high rain totals as well. Tornado threat, our tornado threat is increasing as Francine begins to move inland. Not only do you need to be, set on where you're going to be the rest of the afternoon and into tonight as the winds blow in. You also need to make sure you're in a sturdy structure should a tornado warning be issued and you need to run into your closet, you need to run into the bathroom. These type of situations usually produce tornadoes and they're quick movers, so there's not a whole lot of time to prepare, and oftentimes they can be very, very quick to spin up. So those are our 4 main things we're watching with Francine: the winds, the surge, the heavy rain, and the tornado threat. And I do want to briefly go into our wind risk here. With Francine expected to move in, the strong winds will really start to impact the coast as we go into the late afternoon and into later on this evening. Guys, I have a full rundown of this. That's all coming up in just a bit.
All right, Payton, thank you.